what's up? Mark here from the Backpacking Gear Net, and today I'm going to do a review of the Hiboost Travel 2.0 car cell phone booster. There are times when you go out into the wilderness and other places and you can't get a cell signal, or you can't get a cell signal that is usable, that's too weak in order to actually use it. A lot of people say they like to unplug and they don't want connections to cellular service. And for me, that's just not really an option, because I still need to be able to connect with my YouTube channel. Yes, I can't always do that, because when you're backpacking, there's lots of times where you just can't get something on your cell phone. But when I'm at base camp, I'm able to use this. And I'm able to use this to make it so that it doesn't take 2 hours to upload a video. So for full disclosure, they gave this to me for free. There's no expectation that I will say anything for them. It's just that they wanted me to do an honest review. They will not get to see this beforehand. And yes, I do get to keep this. If I open up this box, the first thing you'll see is a manual. This manual says it's for the Travel 2.0 car, RV, and truck. So there you go, there's that. The next thing is inside the box that comes in this styrofoam. I actually keep this box so that I have a nice way to put this away where I know it's going to be safe, so that I don't damage it. If you take the little piece off, you have this right here. This is your booster. This is the brains of the outfit. As you can see, it's pretty small. Here's my iPhone so that you can compare the size. This is the Pro Max, so you can get an idea that it's pretty small. It's pretty lightweight too. And then if I open the phone, inside you're going to have an antenna. You're going to have the in-car transmitter. And you're going to have a cigarette lighter adapter to give you some USB ports. And then they give you some Velcro tape stuff so that you can connect these things. Now, the nice thing about this, and I'm going to put this stuff right here to the side. The nice thing about this is it's really simple to use. There's not a whole lot that you have to know or be technically proficient. This is an omnidirectional antenna. Now, I saw in their literature it said it was directional. I don't think they're actually talking about it being a directional antenna as it has to point. I think what they're talking about is if you look here, it's nice and thin so that when it sits on the roof of the car, it will be better for aerodynamics. And it's low profile, so it's nice. And it's got a magnet mount to attach it to the roof of your car or the roof of your RV or whatever you want to attach it to. And then it has a lot of cord here. Now, the unit itself, the way it's powered is by USB. That's why they give you this cigarette lighter attachment. But if you already have USB ports in your car, then you can just simply use this. This is the little antenna that goes in your car or in your RV. The closer your phone is to it, the better it works. They don't want to make this super high powered, because if it's super high powered, it's just going to create a loop where it connects to its own antenna and gets a loop in it. So you don't want that, because then you can't get a good signal. You actually want them to be as far away from each other as possible. And that's why this has to be a lower power transmitter. That way it's enough power for you in the car or you sitting a couple feet away from it, but it's not enough power to actually get back to its own antenna and create that loop. Like I said, they give you double-sided tape and everything, so you could actually stick this if you want. I don't stick it. I just take and will place it either in my cup holder or something like that. And for me, that's good because then I can switch vehicles or even use it in my RV. If I get to a place that has a weak signal, I don't have to put up my 25-foot antenna and do all that stuff. I can use this in my RV and it will do a perfectly adequate job because of the fact that I'm just boosting a signal that already exists. If you get to a place that has no signal, it's important that you know that all of this stuff works by line of sight. So this stuff doesn't just curve around the earth, it works by line of sight. What happens is, as a signal travels around the earth, it has to have repeaters. And this is why they like having satellites, because then you can have satellites that make it so essentially it repeats around the earth and it can get everything, even though you're not necessarily in line of sight with the opposite side of the earth. That's how you transmit signals, and that makes it functional. It's really old technology. I mean, before they before they had satellites, they did it with towers every so often. Even before they had electronics like this, they did it in other ways. You know, you see like in Lord of the Rings when they're lighting the fires on each mountain in order to send a signal a long distance. The line of sight technology is very basic. If it can't see that tower, it cannot get a signal. So there's going to be places where you cannot actually get a good signal with this, and that's to be expected. This other reason why you would want this is a big deal when you're using it for data for doing uploads. What'll happen is if you actually do a speed test on your phone, you'll see that your download speed is faster than your upload speed. Even if you're in a really good spot and you're just like looking up at the tower and you got all your bars. So what you get from this is you get a faster upload speed even when you're right there in a great prime location. So for people like me who upload large files, video files and so forth, it will actually make it faster. I'm able to upload a video in a percentage of the amount of time as if I didn't use it. So it's great for that. Now, I'm telling you this for a couple reasons. If you get this and you set it up and you're in a place that has a good cell signal, you'll actually see that your download speed is reduced a little bit, but it's still at a high level. With this, it's actually going to be a good quality high level because you've all probably noticed there's times when you have 3 or 4 bars and you still aren't getting a fast download speed. Well, this is going to make sure that you have a much better connection so that you can get the fastest you can. So don't be worried about the fact that that may go down a little bit, because what you'll see for the upload speed is it's going to dramatically increase. And so it's going to be a much better balance for people like me and people who say work in their RVs and stuff and work remote and they need to use cellular data as a way to work. They give you enough cable that you could actually, if you were out camping, take this and put this on a painter's pole or something and put it up as high as you can and strap it to a tree or whatever so it's up nice and high. The higher up in the air you get, the more likely you are to see a cell tower. So in a place where you're down and you have no cell tower, getting the antenna higher up in the air increases your likelihood of being able to have that line of sight to see the cell tower. The quality of this is really high quality. The brain, the booster part here, it is made of nice anodized aluminum, and the top is plastic, but it is not cheap feeling plastic. It actually feels really nice. The cable itself is a mini coax cable, kind of like what you would see for like cable TV. The quality of the antenna is important. The reason for that is you want to make sure that the wire in the antenna is of a certain length, so it's exactly the right length for the waveform. So as the waveform goes through the air, you want that to be at the same amount of distance to make sure that you're getting that entire waveform, and that will give you the best quality signal. So they have a high quality antenna that they provide here. This antenna is really well made. It doesn't feel cheap. It doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart. The magnet sticks really well to metal, any sort of metal that is magnetic. Let me talk to you about how to install it. It's really easy. You've got two connections on here. You connect the coax into the appropriate one, and they're labeled. So this one says indoor, so that means the antenna that goes in your vehicle is going to attach to that spot, and it just screws on. And then on the opposite side, it's marked and it says outdoor. So that's going to be your antenna that goes on the roof of your vehicle or whatever you're putting it on. And it just screws on very simply, very easily, not hard to do. And then you power it with this cable, and that plugs in very simply, and you just plug that into your USB port, or use a 12-volt receptacle. They used to call them cigarette lighters. So now I want to talk about something that none of my other boosters have had, and it could be just because they were older or whatever, but this particular booster, it will allow you to connect to it with Bluetooth. And they have an app, and that app is called Open Signal. The nice thing about the Open Signal app is you can control your booster. You can see what sort of connection you're getting. It will give you all sorts of data and information so you know how to best optimize it to get the best signal possible. I love that about this, because if you look at the booster itself, there are 3 lights on here. One's that you got a signal. The other one is that you're connected with Bluetooth, and the other one is if there's any trouble. So that's not very useful information. Now, that's what I've dealt with for a long time, and it's something. At least you have some sort of acknowledge that, yes, I've got a signal. But the nice thing about this is you don't have to just simply have that. The app gives you the ability to be able to actually see what all the amount of dB boost is and everything else, so that you know what's going on. There's one thing that I forgot to say, and that was it actually has the ability to connect to Wi-Fi's, which is nice. So if you're in an RV park or somewhere and you're too far to get a good signal from your cell phone for Wi-Fi, but you have this, you can easily use that as a booster and get a good signal. Hiboost has been around for a long time making these kind of products, and I trust them. You know, I love the quality. I love how interactive they can be with you and help you if you have any needs. I love the app. I love the fact that I can connect to this with Bluetooth and get all kinds of information so that it works great for me. It's really nice, and it's really been beneficial to me to have these kind of devices. That's why I think everybody needs one. So if you like this video, hit that like and subscribe. And if you didn't like it, feel free to hit that dislike twice. There's some links down below that will get you to these products and other things that I use regularly. And other than that, I'll see you on the next one.